acts together to see whether or not the possibility of unseating the APC administration led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Hello dear, thank you so very much for joining us on Political Affairs Studio on Kama TV. My name is Chris Jacob. And of course, as usual, to further this conversation, I'll be joined by Dr. Victor Dogo. He is the state PRO, People's Democratic Party, PDP, Adamawa State, and he joins me now to further the conversation. Doctor, it's a pleasure to have you on Political Affairs.
Thank you, and I'm glad I'm on.
Now, I'd like to start this discussion, on a very light premise, first of all. The conversation within the political atmosphere, seems to be focused on 2027, and it sounds as if the calendar in 2020 in Nigeria does not contain 2026. So 2027 has overshadowed even what we expect to be seen in 2027. Why is the conversation so project for 2027 as it were?
Well, I must admit that it has never been this hot in the political sphere. I think it could be linked to the recent internal and external interference from both the political aspect and the socio-economic situation within the country. When you look at what really happened recently, the bombardment by the so-called Nigeria as a concerned state has become another issue politically that has in the way heated up the policy and made it very uncomfortable, I think, for the ruling party. And at the same time, they also have been facing a situation of the emergence, what I say the emergence or the rise of the PDP in such a way that they've never expected, has also created another tense atmosphere for the ruling party. Now, also considering the fact that the so-called assumption that there is going to be one state party system in a Nigerian political sphere has automatically changed for the last convention that was successful.
What we see is like Nigeria is gradually gravitating towards one party system. And the reason why this seems to be certainly convincing anyway is because there seems not to be a strong opposition.
I don't know, I agree with you at that because definitely
a strong opposition now.
I am very categorical when it comes to that aspect that the PDP is the biggest nightmare of the APC. If you look at what is going on, at the sound of that name PDP, it's like a quake in the APC. It tends to trigger something that you have faceless men that tend to forget that we know them.
But it is the same People's Democratic Party that have an internal rambling where
we really have an internal rambling.
The context
I very candidly agree there is an internal rambling. The reason why I say that is because before the originated from inside the party, without an external interference.
Let me ask you this, Doctor. Before the convention, yes, and even during the convention and post-convention, the People's Democratic Party does not seem to be indivisibly, strong and together, because during the convention, we've had names of certain persons, who seem to be players of this party, being suspended from the party. And on the other hand, again, we saw another faction of the political party, of the PDP, your party, throwing tantrums, to the other side of the People's Democratic Party. So, I would the PDP, as long as there is no declaration from any court of law that says there are two political parties here called PDP, the PDP remains the PDP that is led by Kabila. The Honorable Minister of the SPP, is this bigger or stronger than your party?
Well, if you go to the aspect of Wiki, I want to sound a note of warning to people here that the person Wiki or as a person has its own qualities. But when it comes to the situation surrounding his political influence and other things, you might say there are some areas that you might disagree with him. And that notwithstanding does not mean that I concur with some of the things that he does. But you see, as an individual, someone who knows the importance of politics, every human being comes with a kind of a followership, either as an individual or the person type forces that backs him up. So when you consider that you need people to be on deck for you to succeed in any political battle, it means that you do not fight everybody. Now, what the PDP is doing and what we're saying is that, Ricky, you are to someone that we been with. And of course, we must give you the respect that someone who has been with the system. But we must also try to restrain from certain areas. And at the same time, we also are also trying to kind of constrain ourselves from being outright enemies to persons that we know that in one way that have been in alliance or could even be in alliance. Or in one way that in the future could be someone who also wants to be on the same platform that has also brought him up. So what we do in PDP is that we do not bite those that for any reason have been part of us. But we must take drastic action to correct and to put everyone to fall in line with what our ambition and vision is for Nigeria.
Can I ask you a question, Doctor? If it was another person who has not reached the status or capacity of recent weekly, and is exhibiting certain factors that could be characterized as anti-party activity, wouldn't that person have been expelled or suspended from the party even before now?
You see, whether you like it or not, like I did say, excesses are things that we all frown at. But at the same time, we do not throw the baby and the dirty water. So what you have to do is see how you can manage, and that is exactly why I love what Governor Amadu Finkel did say, that in as much as we do not want crisis to continue amongst us, we still at the same time should be able to manage the crisis in such a way that a decision can still be taken by an individual who is being punished within a system and be able to make a decision to come back to himself. So what I'm trying to say is that no one is above the law, and the constitution of the PDP is binding on everyone. So what we have done, I don't know if it was a situation whereby you tell me that UK outrightly has denied PDP is another thing. But you find that there is a romance within UK for the PDP. That is, in as much as there is a place that he's being gravitating towards, he still knows that there is something about this called party PDP that if he lets go, the future might see something different. And that is why Wike definitely wants to retain that position or that frontality with the PDP. But we are saying that while you are there at the express, now that is the area that we have to draw a line. You do not keep throwing stones to the same place that you were part of and expect the people to feel comfortable.
All right, let me also ask you this question. You know, during the convention, when the elder statesman, let me put it this way, for the job, you know, make the announcement of the expulsion of certain members of the People's Democratic Party, which include Nigerian Insecurity. Your principal, the governor, Amadu Moro, seem not to be the picture of it. Was your principal sideline even before that announcement, when that pronouncement was made?
Now, as the chairman of the convention, I would not speak for him. I would speak as the party publicity secretary of Adamawa State. Now, there are certain decisions that might have been made amongst them, which of course can only be explained by them. But one aspect that I discovered, and I know of Governor Amadu Finkel, is that he does not believe in outright destruction of the fabric we all belong to. And that was why he felt it was too excessive to use the word expulsion. You can suspend someone, you can call someone to order, you can insist on certain punitive measures. But when you now go outrightly and it's as if you are trying to create a barrier that will not give someone the opportunity to even reconsider. Because you see, there's something about the Amadu. He believes that there is always a window to get anyone that is moving away back into the party. And that is the ideology that he has always maintained, that no one should be left out. So it is maintaining this principle that I do not like certain things. Yes, I agree that there are certain limits to which you go in trying to rattle certain things in the PDP. But at the same time, he is saying that we should be able to manage and go around another route, you understand, to make sure we resolve this thing. So that is to tell you that he's a man that looks at the bigger picture of the Nigerian first. I have always said it. Governor Amadu Finkel has always believed that the Nigerian picture It's not only just the issue of UK. Whether you are in APC, whether you are in ADC, whether you are social for Democratic Party, the government of people believes in one thing, that there must be something that first binds us together. And that is the Nigerian project. And in that Nigerian project, we must also consider that there must be a window for everybody to come on a platform to build the Nigeria first. And that is the premise on which he was saying expulsion outrightly at that point in time.
Yes, well, probably the leadership of the PDP then applied what a medical doctor with surgeon manufacturer appendix. If you don't have it, if you don't operate it, if you have a detriment on the body.
But let me ask you something. You know it is possible. You know, politics is a big one. Do you know it's possible tomorrow the same week will be on the same table with each of these persons? So what am I trying to say? I'm not really brief for him. But what I'm saying is that at every point in time, there should be a window that could create an atmosphere for resolving whatever might be the difference. But
perhaps all the channels and avenues for resolutions and to reconcile, was put in place, but unfortunately was not respected or adhered to. Now, during the 2023 general election, we also what happened with the People's Democratic Party, where the preliminary became the order of the day, and we decided to kind of create a group, known as the G5, and all in all, fighting the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who of course became the fourth bearer of the PDP in the 2023 general election. Now, Atiku Abubakar is no longer with the PDP. He resigned his membership with the People's Democratic Party and embraced the coalition party and the AGC. Now, ordinarily, supposedly, after his resignation with the PDP should have said, okay, now Atiku, who they see as the person, in the storm of the sea, is no longer there. So, ordinarily, the People's Democratic Party should, have a seamless, movement as a party. So, does it show now that Atiku was not a problem?
No. I think Atiku, I think we should be able to separate this thing.
Yes,
that entity created the problem we had in PDP. How do you mean? My personal view has always been Atiku. At that point in time, Wiki was the one that said, let us do this or do that. Come to a compromise. But Atiku decided outrightly his own decision on not moving with Wiki's decisions, right? Now we had two opinions that were flipping. Now that means that at that point in time, they could have had the view to sit on the table and resolve and not to part ways. And if you could remember at that point in time, we were very cautious to say it would have been best for Atiku to take the second strongest force coming out of that convention. We had that view. That second strongest force at that point in time,
and what could have been
that was Wiki at that point in time. And I think that was what made Wiki to become so aggrieved that he led to this fallout. And that is why I'm calling on Wiki to kind of calm it down and then also forget about that pain he has with Atiku in those days as what led to actually if you consider what led to UK ending up in the APC, it was the friction between he and Atiku. So now that caused a lot of problem in the PDP at that point in time. But now that we have come to a point that we need to recover, you understand? That is why we are saying that there are some excesses, there are so many areas that you should be able to also calm down and understand that this is your home party and these are some of the things you must let off. And then,
all right, I will allow you to calm down this. We need to take a break. But when we return, we'll collapse the conversation down to Adamawa State. Still looking at the journey towards 2027 and what Adamawa State has been able to achieve on the Right Honorable Ahmadu Simpson for the past 5 years or thereabouts. All right, you're watching Political Affairs on Kama TV. You take a breather. We'll be back with a top line. For those of you following the conversation on our Facebook page, you can send your comments, suggestions on the comment section, even as we peruse the next chapter of this conversation. We'll be back in a moment. Join us again. national you're there. If you just join us, you're watching Political Affairs on Karma TV. I've been speaking with Dr. Victor Dogo, who is the Publicity Secretary, People's Democratic Party, Animal State, and of course, we're looking at the state of the nation and towards 2027 general election. Now, before the break, I asked you this question, and I want you to be sincere. In Animal State, of course, we have had for the past 4 years. The PDP, under the leadership of Amadou Simpiri, has bragged that there is no opposition in Adamawa State. And we saw that coming in the last 2023 legislative election, where it was a kind of a tug of war, let's put it that way, that within the whiskers, the PDP won the election. Of course, what happened. I want us to go back to what transpired. But with what we have seen recently, looking at the coalition of the African Democratic Congress and the conglomeration of these politicians who have been big weak, the APC, following with please. Now, you're joining the ADC, the likes of Senator Aisha Binani, the likes of Senator Jibrila Bindo, former governor of Adamawa State, the likes of Senator Ishaku Abo, and just a few, numerous to come. Is the APC in any way a threat to the PDP come 2027?
When you analyze the personalities you called on that so-called, what do you call them?
No, you have it right. You had
whatever the party.
No, you know the party.
Whatever you call it. Now, let's take a look at one of them, Binani. How did she emerge? It was a situation whereby she declared herself as a winner at a point in time that the wrong person and made an announcement abridged during the constitutional position. That was an offense that if it was someone else today, they'd be crying and calling for a legal pursuit against her action. But we've let that slide. Let that go. Yes, it was very wrong because she was the wrong person that did the case. She didn't have been followed up. That's one. Then two, are you talking about Bindo, the man that lost the election as an incumbent? You see, when you consider persons, you consider what do they bring to the table. If you had been a person that had two channels, you understand how things is strong for to contend with. Now, who are you talking about? Well, you can't let me I'm coming. Let me take the next one. Atiku, the man that cannot stay in the house when it is off. A man that moves from one political party to the other the moment the heat is on. A real politician will stay and then liaise and discuss and enter through with the people in the party, sit on the table, and with his ability in governance, he'll be able to retaliate and tell them, look, why not let's drop this and take that? See, how can you become a man that can lead Nigeria if you cannot solve the problem in a political party? Nigeria is too big for a man that cannot solve a little problem within a political party. So you say any man that wants to rule, yes, like the law, any man that wants to rule Nigeria should start by being able to solve a problem within the house to belong to.
So does that in any way undermine the capacity of the African Democratic Congress? I'm not solely my brother Gerald. Because I was seeing refer to other political parties can win in Nigeria today. And when you call APC, the APC in Adamawa State, of course, let me say, during the period when you were talking of national, you can call the name APC, you can call the name, but then what else are you calling? I called the Labour is right in the last election. That is why I want to make the conversation in Adamawa State. The last election, local government election that took place in Kenya, you understand what I'm saying? The APC, as a matter of fact, took the day. So isn't that a sign that the PDP will not always be the all-might? Let's not what happened when it comes to issues of election. Let's not what happened. The PDP was beaten. Let's break down what happened. So there is no way that is an underdog when it comes to politically in Adamawa State. You know exactly what happened in Kenya? I don't know, but a lot of falsehood were being poured out there using the so-called APC, the National Party, who were going to make new rules, and all of a sudden all those tractors and all those things that they made on the road have disappeared in the same things that they used to campaign to
cajole the people. Did not only they cajole the people. Let me know. You have to allow me land because you made the point that lost land. Now they cajole the people that we are going to do some things for you in Delhi before the election, just about 48 hours before the election. They brought in so many things, and then apart from that, they brought in so many things to buy votes. They brought rappers, they brought money, and apart from that, they brought illegality into the system. Where a man that was carrying the APC flag was caught with INEC materials. Where a man that was supposed to portray inside, you know, my brother, do you know that the whole Nigeria gathered in Guinea to fight the PDP, and for the first time, traditionally, they have never seen such a contest in their whole life. And let me also shock you. The first time the APC has been winning. Let me also shock you. The margin was what? Less than 200 votes. When the national, you brought in the police force, you brought in everything that had to do. Now, let me tell you, on the day of election, come 2027, I will see how you will gather all the police force in Nigeria, in Guinea, and forget about all the other local governments. It cannot work. You see, PDP is something one party. Let me pick up what you say. First of all, PDP is one party that does not believe in manipulating votes. We do not believe in writing votes. We believe in the people, the grassroots, going out to vote. And that's how we've always played it. You were talking about what happened in 2023 when Governor Umaru came to be emerged for the second time. It was the same pattern. We thought we were playing the game of politics. Quickly, with the right thinking.
I need you to respond for time constraint. Yeah. This is just a platform of this conversation. We definitely have a build up on it. But quickly, you say the national APC
gathered everybody in Guinea. Yes, and at the end, what did they get?
They came with heavy duty machines to construct roads. Hold on. That they cajole the people of Guinea that if you vote for us, we're going to
that they were already constructing roads.
We're going to construct roads. If the PDP under the leadership of Ahmadu Pinto had constructed that road,
which road? A federal. Please correct yourself.
Hold on.
No, correct yourself. It's a federal road.
I'm not done yet.
Yes, but it's a federal road. Yes, carry on.
If the governor had a kind of move,
we have
to have. I believe that those are the national level.
I just came back from Guinea yesterday. We were there continuing in the promises of Governor Umaru Pinto that whether we win Guinea or not, we will continue to build the platform for the grassroots people to emerge and enjoy Guinea. So that's to tell you that the PDP is all about the project Nigerian first before any political whatever thing you talk about.
Dr. Victor Dogo, I just want to assure our viewers that we're going to have a part two of this conversation, definitely, because there are a lot of things that need to be unboxed, for the benefit of our viewers.
We are waiting for them come 2027. Absolutely. Where you will see PDP all over the 21 local governments. If you like, you've ganged up and gathered in Guinea. Let's see how you will do it on the day of election.
All right, anyway.
You don't push us to the wall. It has never happened. Remember what happened in the last election? When the Binani movement tried it, what did we say? Fear Almighty Allah, fear God, and also fear our capacity professionally.
All right, there is no better way to end this conversation than now. Dr. Victor Dogo, it's a pleasure speaking with you. But I assure you, within the week, we'll definitely have a build-up of this conversation.
You're welcome.
It's getting heated already, and the atmosphere is charged. And all in all, for 2027 general election.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for having you. All right, viewers, that's our conversation for today with Dr. Victor Dogo. He's the Publicity Secretary, People's Democratic Party, Adamawa State. And of course, he has shared his views with us. But I assure you also, we have a part two on this conversation. But before we do that, I'll also get another person from the APC or the AGC to come also.
The AGC in Adamawa.
Dr. Victor Dogo has said. Thank you so very much. Just do this again, same time, same station. Until then, stay safe. My name is Chris Jacob. God bless Nigeria.